Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever, whenever this finds you. Look at that. It works. Should probably pop out chat so I can see you guys. I'm Sean from How to RPG, amongst other things. I stream every Saturday on YouTube here with help from the chat. Harrigan and Joe, good to see you guys. What's going on? What is going on? What kind of week has everybody had? My week has been crazy. Crazy. My job is like a bad crystal meth ride sometimes. I swear. It's ups and downs of the people biz. Kitty's and wife's gonna go to karate. Yeah. About to eat a breakfast burrito. McDonald's probably, right? Am I right? McDonald's breakfast burritos. Yeah, right? Yeah, let's put this week behind us. Yeah, sorry. I know Harrigan had gone through some stuff. Oof. It's like contagious. Phil! Morning, Phil. No gaming this week for Sean Bo. No gaming this past week. I gotta say, it was a little. I mean, the break was nice. I have to say, a little bit. Reason, my frau's birthday. She turned 25 again this year. No Santiago's Colorado Classic. It's a sad week. Yeah. It depends. If you're playing or running sometimes. Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, I had a minute of gaming session was interrupted by vomiting child. That's hot. That's sweet. Hot vomit, probably. That's why I say it's hot. What's up, Roger? What's going on? What is going on? What's missing in your role-playing game? Running, playing, what's missing? If you could just capture that one thing. I've got a few people in the chat that are in my game, so it'd be interesting to, or in my groups. It'd be interesting to hear what they say. What is missing? It seems like we're always seeking something in our role-playing game. We buy more. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I think we are obsessed. It's not the perfect game. I know Brett and I talked it out on Gaming NBS, and I know most of you know Brett and I. For those that don't, Brett and I had run a 7-year-long RPG podcast and covered all kinds of topics. And I think 100% player involvement. Wait a minute. Hold on, Gabe. So is that you want all of your players at 100% or 100% player involvement? Why am I going off of that? There's something like Gabe didn't sit back into the weeds too long this morning. Struck a chord. Is it 100% player involvement, or is it 100% player involvement? Now, I know Gabe is literature, so he probably typed that correctly. What is missing in your game? So what I was gonna say. What's up, Terrence? And morning, Gabe. By the way, one thing I was gonna say is we have talked about like the perfect role playing game, the pursuit of the perfect role playing game, and I think some of us think that we purchase a butt ton of role playing games because we're searching for the perfect role playing game experience, whatever that is. I think we're in love with the idea of running that game or thinking that something's going to change by running that game. I think that's what it is, subliminally. We just don't acknowledge it, or it's not conscious. Forefront of conscious. I think it's, if I buy this game, it will be greater than the game I played last. Like, it'll be more fun. The mechanics will be easier. Whatever you have in your brain. It's like, I think that's what it is. So we buy it. Like, this game, I'm going to run it. It's going to be fantastic. And then it's just like every other game we ever get. Or we never get it to the table. But I don't think I guess that can be mistaken for looking for the perfect game. But I don't think it's the game mechanics. I don't think it's, some of that plays a role with what we seek. But I think it has to do with like, it's like people loving being in love. It's like this weird thing, right? And then once that's worn off, it's boop, like Hollywood reminds me of that. There's like a euphoria that hits their brain, like dopamine or something. And they're like, ooh, if I buy this and I run it, it will be awesome. And it'll be great. And it'll be like an adventure I've never presented before. And it's just going to be fantastic. Yet you still have the same players. I'm going to go like, I don't know. It's dark. It's probably not going to be dark for much longer, right? Like, eventually that'll turn around. Terrence says, I'll settle for 45% player involvement. Oh, it's the players need to be fully involved. All the players, or just 100% of the players need to be involved? I'm with Joe. All I need is time. I found the right players. Whoa, look at that guy. Joe says time to dedicate to play or run. I'm getting the GM bug again, but with life just isn't allowing a ton of time. Most of my gaming stuff is in totes. Yeah. Nelson, morning. Hypno Code, morning. All right, now Hypno Code, don't get too crazy in that chat room now. Mike Hess Jr., how are you, man? How are you? Good to see you, man. Wow, got some people that I haven't seen in a while, at least ever here. Mike says, I agree. I think it's more time. What do I let go of to give me that time? Grass is greener, Harrigan said, in relation to finding the next RPG. Yeah. Hypno says, I just like reading about mechanics and world building. That's fair. I think a lot of us do that too, like especially game masters. I firmly bet, yeah, for sure. Terry says, I want a game that offers players all the stupid bloat they demand for character building, but is actually easy to run from the DM side. Yeah. Gabe, the players aren't as invested as the GM. Yeah. Yeah. Struggle is real. Wayne Peacock, good morning. So the question I've posed is, what's missing in your RPG, even as a player or a GM? Like, just that one thing, like something just isn't right. Like, could be scheduling, could be player involvement. Some people have said, some have just mentioned getting table games to the table, getting the itch to run. Yeah, packed house, man. Good to see everybody. Thanks for joining, man. This is fantastic. So if you haven't been here before, or if you've lurked, great. That's okay. But if you haven't been here, I get on here and stream every Saturday at 8 a.m. Central Time US and banter about RPGs with huge amounts of help from you guys in the chat. So thanks for being mildly conscious and awake, especially the Hoos man who's out in Washington getting up at like a balmy 6 a.m. Probably like, again, 5:45, get the coffee. Good morning, woodchuck chuckers. It's Groundhog Day. That's right, Groundhog Day. As you smash your alarm clocks. Same level of dedication, Hoos is, yeah, as the GM. Laying in bed, Hypno's out on the East Coast. Well, it's late for you, buddy. Like, you've probably been up for like an hour at this point. Maybe 2. Echo, or is it Eco, or Echo? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Ted Leckman again. Tad. My eyes, that screen, too small. I gotta get it closer to me. I'm getting too old. Tad, hello. Howdy. California. You guys are hardcore, man. Getting up at like 6 in the morning. Woo. You know, I gotta say, when I was younger, forget about it. Like, dude, I was that late sleeper, noon sleeper guy. As I got older, I felt like if I got up in the morning, there was nothing going on. It was peaceful and the world hadn't started yet. And it's just the way I like it. What is missing from your RPG game, either as a player or a GM? Like, what's that one thing? Like, if I could just turn the knob on that, either to on or up, what is the one thing? So if you haven't joined, I stream every Saturday morning, get help from you guys, and we're going to talk. I'll go over stuff in the news and any new things going on, maybe. Depends. And new releases and maybe some crowdfunding stuff. I could increase the font size. I suppose I could. I should probably do that, shouldn't I? That would be too smart. Terrence, you are wise. You are not Terrence is stupid. You are Terrence is wise. Henceforth you shall be known as Terrence is wise. What is the one thing missing? One thing. So going back to the games, right? Grass is greener. We're continuing to find the holy grail of role playing games. Kind of ties together with like what's missing, but I also think that there's some weird thing where it's like I don't even have the rule book here, but I have supplements. Like, I got this game. Like, this game, I read the back. Ooh, yes. I could see the sessions in my brain. Oh, my players will love this. Oh, it'll be fantastic. It'll be great. Yes, I'm gonna run this. I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna read it and devour it. And then it's just like any other game. The only difference is instead of rolling dice for initiative, you flip cards. Instead of flipping cards in front of everybody and it's ascending, it's descending. You know, it's instead of a 52 card deck, you're using 10 cards. Instead of, being tactile or more tactical, you're using, theater of the mind. Like, Nelson says, I want to play too many games. I try to focus on one, but then I see another that I want to play. Not enough time to run them all, for sure. Phil says, yes, Cold Shadows. It's going to be great. Phil, your enthusiasm is intoxicating, my friend. Phil, that's not quite what I said, but hey, Toronto, you thumped that chest. Mike S. Jr., I think we could get up earlier is because the older we get, our bladder won't let us sleep in. Hey-o. I go to the bathroom before bad man. Instead of anything else, you're using Thaco. Joe, come on, buddy. Hypnocode. For me, the White Dragon is a generic system that hits all the points. Savage Worlds comes the closest, but still not there. Chases, horror, and investigation really isn't there. Nelson, sounds like your group is in 100%. I will give some advice, especially to Nelson, only because we were encountering that with our Thursday night group. Is if you're running long campaigns, you're just never going to get enough to the table, assuming your schedule stays the same, right? And you don't open up the bandwidth. So obviously I'm running. I was involved in one that could have went on forever, and now I'm running Delta Green Impossible Landscapes, which is not a short adventure. But there's something to be said about those. Like some of them are really, like I always got attracted to those. Masks, some Nyarlathotep, Impossible Landscapes, the big, what is it? Murder on the Orient Express. Is it horror? Horror on the Orient Express. Those are always kind of cool because it's like this big overarching span of events and sessions. I mean, it's the Hickman thing, right? We could all blame Tracy Hickman for that. But it's, we could do this cereal thing, right? And I'm not talking eating cereal for breakfast. You can do that too, by the way. Get some milk. But I think also that there's nothing wrong with running back in the day, when we were younger lads and lasses back in the day. That's kind of how we ran, right? Drop a character, make a tune, hey-o, and somebody would run a module. And then the next one would be another module, and they never connected. Like, we're last week on Keep on the Borderlands, and then now we're in the middle of a desert in Pharaoh. Okay, that's cool. Like, we could give two shits back then. But now it's like the big epic, big story arc, the big, series campaign. Victor Wyatt. Long campaigns are fun, but I rarely get to play in them. So, Victor, what is the one thing it's missing in your RPG game? Like the one thing, either you want to turn it on because it's missing completely, or you just want to turn it up because there's not enough. Hypnocode says that's actually what I want to run as my next campaign. But see how many players feel after the first part of Impossible Landscapes, or break it up after that. Impossible Landscapes is cool too because it's got chapters. You could literally run Night Floors, which is the first chapter, for, I don't know how long it took us. It was less than 10 sessions. And that was like 3 to 3.5 hours per session ish, right? So it's like 30 hours. So you could just run that and then call it a day. And if they didn't like it, that's it. Or put it on hold and then bring it back for the next chapters. Yeah, I watched the Glass Cannon version of Get in the Trunk as well. I thought it was pretty good, I have to say. Tad, it's really fun to compare notes with other folks who've played the same published adventure too. That's true. I like that, yeah. Harrigan says, I didn't play in that disconnected way for long. We headed pretty immediately for campaign play. Interesting. Yeah, I think we tried. Like, even if it didn't make sense, we tried to make it, but I didn't think we were really caught up with how they tied together. My buddy Dustin would always have like a recurring villain, which always kind of made continuity a little bit. It was there, right? If you use something consistently or in every scenario, regardless of where it took place. Who says I don't grok published adventures? Okay, so you could still do, like, we're just going to run a single adventure and the next one's not going to connect to the one after. I don't know. It probably depends on what game you're playing too. I don't know. All right. let's shall we get to some things? What shall we get to? I got no order. Shocker. It's going to be crazy. I don't know what is going on. I don't think that's not that, not this. Well, why don't the week digest. I'm gonna go to print. We're gonna start with print. What's new in print? Just to give you guys an idea. Oh, I thought I had my browser source set up. I probably had to read. Whoops, I should probably not do that. I gotta get my browser source squared away. My apologies. If you saw a blank screen, don't sweat it. All right. There we go. OBS problems. People, don't you sweat it. I'm a trained professional. All right. Good night, folks. And that's all. Whoop, fade to black. Professional? I don't know about that. Am I getting paid? Not. Well, I guess not really. Kinda. Sorta. Anyways. Print news. Zobek. Clockwork City. For 5e. It's the collector's edition. So, Zobek is the thriving city of Midgard, the big cold ball press city campaign. I did have Midgard, the campaign setting. I think I gave it up. It's big, man. So this is by Bauer, Heck, McFarlane, and Pollock. Some folks that I think if you've dabbled in the Pathfinder scene, I mean, Stephen Radney McFarlane's been around for a while. So a lot of Cobalt Press names on there, obviously. So there you go. There's a lot of stuff, man. There's so much stuff in RPG world. Warhammer. Where's my Warhammer, folks? Champions of Destruction, Wrath and Glory, Game Master Screen. For the Emperor. I don't know. I got nothing. What am I going to... There we go. Roger did it. What's up, Lucas? So that's a $40, $30. Isn't that, I mean, look at, okay. Come on, let's be honest. I've talked about increasing prices on RPGs in the past. For Soulbound, it's $40. Not, and then the other one is, well, that's a GM screen, which $30 for a GM screen and booklet. But $40 still, like, even the video game industry has bumped up their prices quite a bit. 20 new destruction-aligned archetypes, 50 cunning and brutal talents. DCC, baby. Thieves of Cold Corner. DCC Lankmar. And then Mutant Crawl Classics, Mayhem on the Mag Train. Pew pew. Look at that worm. Holding a rifle, laser rifle. Level 3 heist adventure, Thieves Cold Corner. The PCs go after a cache of invisible ice diamonds. And what? Invisible ice diamonds. Ooh. And an overlord's ransom in gold ropes, but to pull it off risks the ire, the snow women, and their cruel axemen. Sometimes DCC, man, you gotta roll that stuff to back. Whew, when we were younger, sometimes it'd be like just right out of the pages of when I was younger. Mayhem and on the Mag Trains, level 2. Any MCC? Any MCC folks? MCC, I always felt it take a backseat to DCC, and I know there's some hardcore DCC fans that love the MCC space, but I don't know if it gets as much love. Tad, Sean is saying he expects that book to cost more, and it should. Yes. Sorry, what did Tad? Oh, an expensive GW product? Well, see, Tad, I don't know if that's the case, man. So, Ted, before you had, a while ago, I should say, at one point in time, I was kind of like, is a $30 book, role-playing game book, like expensive? Now, it's relative because to some people it's very expensive. Like, hey, I can't afford, $30. I can't afford this. I live paycheck to paycheck. I get it. Things are tough for people. But I was thinking at one point in time, I was comparing those books to like textbooks, like going to college and buying a textbook. And if you've ever had the pleasure of doing that, those things are no freaking joke. I know Harrigan's son just started college, probably forking over $100 a book at least. And, they probably don't change necessarily year after year. Some do. So I think with especially the value, because I think that's where role-playing game books, like there's a value. I don't know is it a value or worth? Maybe I'm getting them mixed up. But if you bought a player's handbook for D&D 5th edition, and that's the only book you need, and you bought that on Amazon for like $25 on sale, and then take the return on the amount of hours you can get out of it and play, the creative things you can bring out of it, like value wise, it's, a video game is 40 hours, maybe, give or take. Like if you don't speed run it and you go through everything, and then you're kind of done. And that they were selling those at like what, $59, $60 for a while. They've upped them to like close to 70 now. It's a different experience, mind you, good and bad. But I don't know, man. I think, like I was talking about, sorry to go off on this tangent, but I just wanted to, like, if I say like, oh, it's $30, it's still a great deal, and somebody's like, man, it's too expensive, I just want to kind of give context of why I'm saying that. And I think like with Monte Cook Games, Tolus, which is a beast, Weird Frontiers is probably the biggest RPG ever. Just big bulk, lots of text, lots of stuff. That doesn't, and I'm not saying that's better. It's bigger. There's no question about that. But I don't know if it's better. Like somebody might say it's a great book. I don't know. Like it's more like the thicker the book, the more the rules, the better the game. I don't think that's the case. But I gotta say, I don't know. And there's like, why is the RPG hobby always struggling? Like, why do they pay people, a penny a word or whatever ridiculous amount it is? And MCDM is proud to pay their people premiums per word. And Nell says, I'd gladly pay $100 if the book was really well edited. Too much fluff in some books. So that's going to vary no matter what, Nelson, right? Like it's going to be a $100 book. So you could get, this is why it's relative, right? How do you put a dollar amount on certain things, and how does it have value or worth to you? Because you could say, I don't want a book that has a lot of fluff. I want it to be edited, and I would gladly pay $100 for it. Now, one thing, Nelson, and I know there's more to it, okay? So I'm selling you a little short, Nelson. But one could say, well, it's a zine. It's 20 pages. You paid $100 for that? Huh. Wow. And then, of course, you get folks that have that, 700-page tome with 5 ribbons in it, and somebody would pay, $200 for that and say, what? Why did you pay $200 for that? So, or even, well, even something like this. So I don't know. This is 1,000-Year-Old Vampire. I'd heard about this for like a buddy of mine picked this up and told me that they were running it. So if you haven't heard about this thing, go and Google it. It's 1,000-Year-Old Vampire by, I can't remember who it was. And it won 3 Emmy Awards in 2020. Okay. It's a solo type journaling adventure. And I had heard about it and I just kind of blew it off. And then I came across it in a game store and I was like, okay, wow. So if you can see on the spine, it's going to be lost on you, but if I could get this in the light a little bit. So the spine, you see the etching, you could feel that. Okay. Like it's like Tim Hutchings did it. And it's got 2 ribbons in it. It's only 150 pages ish. But it's, it's got gold. It got the gold inlay. You could see like, anyways, went from like print to like this tangent. Also, one of the key points I was trying to make when I was talking about RPG books maybe being priced way too low is if they were priced a lot higher, you as a consumer would be way more pickier. Reviews would be way more scrutinized, right? Like the whole industry in itself, the whole ecosystem would, I think, change. And you would have, for example, if somebody said, like, if I was doing reviews, and this kind of does kind of happen now, or Ben Milton from Questing Beast and things of that nature. And we did reviews and you said, you know what, like Sean's talked about this, I bought it and I agree with him. Then you align with probably a lot of the things that I would come across on a YouTube channel. And then, you would say, I think anything that Sean says is good. I would believe him because I also agree and align better with him. Or somebody else would see this and they say, every book that Sean's come across and pitched has never been for me. So I'm not going to really kind of trust him as the subject matter expert with books that he pitches, RPGs that he pitches. But I think when the pricing comes into place, that's even going to be an even more interesting dynamic where instead of just being a reviewer who reviews anything that just comes out, the reviewer is going to be more selective of what they look at. And hopefully people will scrutinize the value of that book, RPG property more because, I mean, how many people, like there's a reason certain things are expensive. Either it's a luxury item, right? It's some type of lifestyle item where it doesn't provide any more value to you. It's just inflated cost because it's got somebody's name on it. And then there's some things that have a reputation of just being engineered better. Like you get what you pay for in some circles. And in the RPG hobby, some of that is kind of like, it's a little weird. The Dark of Hot Springs Island. If you've never seen that, a lot of people have picked up that book and they love it, and they brag about it and everything. And people they may say it's not for them, but they won't say it's a crappy book necessarily. Okay. And should that come at a premium? Like dude, go on Drive Through RPG. We're going to go over stuff today or even DM's Guild or whatever. There's going to be a bunch of freaking crap out there. And so how do you weed through or cut through the chaff? How do you separate that stuff? Anyways, I'm sorry. I apologize for going on a complete tangent, but I haven't talked about it in a little while. And I think it's important. And I don't frankly, if it's whether Warhammer's book is $10, $5, or $500, I'm not going to personally buy it only because that's not my jam. I'm not a Warhammer guy. It's not something I'm interested. It would be like, why don't I buy a motorcycle? Well, I'm not interested in motorcycles. I drive cars. That's what I do. Why don't you buy like Ford pickup trucks? Because I'm a Porsche guy. Like it's just, whatever. Cars, transportation. Apologize. Now I got to go and check out all the comments. Um, so, and Hypnocode MCC will be the next thing I run. I'm planning from funnel to level 3. I like the setting a lot more than DCC. Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. And then DG will be the next campaign. Cool. TAD, yeah. The value you get for an RPG book is incredibly huge. Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Like, so if you are a die-hard Warhammer fan, $40 is a spit in the, like, Warhammer guys are crazy fanatics, like on the miniature side. And if you're on the role-playing, in anything that somebody's involved with, if they are die-hard crazy fanatics, they will pay whatever it costs. They really will. And it's like this. This is a weird one, right? So when you price things, would you rather double the price and get the fanatics and sell half the amount of books and make as much money? Or would you want to cut it in half and sell double the amount of books? Like, I don't know. You know, it's a tricky question, and there's tons of companies that have to deal with this every day. But like in the RPG hobby, man, there's guys like, so Goodman Games, for their DCC books, they could probably charge another $20 per book, maybe. I don't know. That might be a stretch. But how many DCC fans have more than one core rulebook? Like, there's tons of DCC fanatics, and you know, frankly, there's like non-fanatics. Like Harrigan, I know has got 3 copies, and he's not even running the game. And he's, you know, I don't know if I would consider, me from what I know of Harrigan, I don't know if I would consider him a diehard DCC fan. But he's got three of the core rule books. But most of the folks that have 3 or 4 of those rule books with different alternating covers, or alternative covers, they just, that's their jam, and they want to do that. And they probably pay, like for the foil one, it's going to be a little more expensive because it costs more to manufacture. But I don't know. Back to the thing, right? Like, that's my thoughts. There you go. That's not a rant, just thinking out loud in my brain, from my brain. Lucas says, has MCC, but only played it once at Gen Con. Gary, one of the creators, ran it for us. We died to friendship and self-inflicted nuclear strike. Hey, what are you going to do? Value, man. Insane value. If you play a game more than a couple of times, even for a $60 book. Yeah. Yeah, I think Tad says, yep, I think accessories are a different value proposition. Sure. That's a whole nother category, right? Nelson, books are starting to creep up in price, typically 60 to 70 Canadian dollars, maybe exchange. Tad, and GW miniatures are a category of expense all their own. Yeah, I don't want to get into that, like, for sure. It's for one, it's not my forte, and 2, yeah, it's crazy. And I think they've got to, I don't know, man. It's weird. Like, how do people just not print those things themselves or buy it off some guy in his basement making them for people and then just running the game? I know you can't take part in official tournaments without, like, official sprues and miniatures from Warhammer, and they have to be painted, and it's a whole nother beast. Nelson, I'd gladly pay $100. Okay, we mentioned that. Yep. Hypnocode says, I paid $100 for Weird Frontiers collector's book and $70 for the Heart collector's book. Yeah. So $100 for Weird Frontiers is 11 cents a page. Yeah, break it down, right? And that's just the cost, or kind of price. It's the price per page. Harrigan, the prices of Warhammer minis is insane in North America right now. Some, of course, now is when my son has decided to get into. Oh no! Oh, oopsie. I mean, it could be worse, right? Like, miniatures, not going to the bar. That's fine. 1,000-Year-Old Vampires, fantastic example. There, so you have it, Tad. Yeah. Thanks. Who's quality versus quantity, consumer versus hobbyist. Harrigan, yeah, but I'm not Minnie's guy, and he's in college dorm. Ooh, that would be tricky. It's a lot of space for that stuff. Nelson, a lot of people want pretty nice pictures, great paper, beautiful cover. We need a book that you can use at the table. I think there's a trade-off for sure. like too much aesthetics and not enough heart, if you will, or substance, probably is the better word. Yeah, it's not gonna work. But there's so much stuff. So much. Like, why? Like, there was a game store here, and they went to Gamma, and Gamma was trying to kind of tell game store owners on how to price their stuff and why you don't discount. It had everything to do with value, because it was, I don't know, there was some seminar about it, and it made sense, and it does, and I'm sure it's like, you know, product marketing and pricing 101. But it's like, think about all, like, if somebody came up with like a and this happens, they come up with these bundles, and maybe they're for charity or not, and it's like pitch in $5 and get 100 games. So what is the value of those 100 games when you just paid $5 for them? Like zero. They're going to sit on a drive. Maybe one of those games out of the 100 that you get for $5, maybe the reason you actually chipped in for it, and you might get it to the table. But I tell you what, man, if you bought a $100 game, I think your chances of getting it to the table are probably pretty, I think they go up. It's not a guarantee. Ooh. Anyways, good tangent. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate it, man. I did just like bing, struck a chord. I got to talk about this. Do we want to pay shareholders or creators? Who's got some? You got some baggage, man. I'm feeling a little tension from Hoos. Fair. Need ventilation. I like both, Nelson, but utility is so important. Who says there are also pretty reading RPG books versus useful organized RPG books? Yep. Yeah, for sure. And there's no way to determine value for this until we all have implants that track it. Well, yeah, of course. Yes. Yeah. Saltheart. I have fond memories of Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay from the 80s. Yeah, did it age well though? Is another question. Like, if Kevin, would you pick that up and play it and feel like, oh yes, I remember this so fondly. It was such a great game. Or would it be like, ew, like that's how I feel with AD&D. Like, ew, how did I play this? Like, what were we thinking? Speaking of which, I don't know if you could post the link, Kevin, because it probably flag it as spam or something, but go over to Dude Kickstarter and type in Burn 2D6. Kevin's got a Kickstarter over there. It's fully funded. Now he's starting to get into stretch goals. There's been BSers, members of the community in the Discord from BS Landia that has taken part in playtesting some of the runs that Kevin's got. You could do multiple genres in it. It's a simple, quick resolution. I have not played it myself, but you know, if you're interested in getting a new game and checking it out, by all means do that. And the guys in the chat room, if you have any questions, like, and he's on our Discord, you can just hit him up and say, hey, how's this work? Or, hey, I like what you did here. So I'll put a link. Actually, let's just do this right now before I forget. Burn 2D6 Kickstarter. Look at that first one on the hit. So check it out since he's here. See, if you didn't show up today, Saltheart, I wouldn't have promoted it, by the way, but it's because you're here, just so you know. Anyways, I should probably hear. Harrigan continues, which means the books will cost what the market will bear. Yeah, which is where I think a lot of creators undershoot. They don't know what the market will bear, so they aim low. It's a price of lemonade. It's the price of lemonade problem. There's Sean talking about lemonade right now. Yep. Like, I don't remember what Brett sold Streets of Avalon. I'd have to double check and see. It would be also interesting, like, you know, there's also this weird mentality. I think Kohl's department store is notorious for it, where everything's on sale all the time, every day, at least 10 to 15 to 20% off. It's like that's their model. You go in there thinking you're paying, oh, it was $60, huh? Wow, I get it for like $55. Great deal. It's not, because that's when everything is on sale, nothing is on sale. So, Cubicle 7 is in GW 2 for what it's worth. They just have the Warhammer IP for RPGs. I know people who live near them and say they are a great group. Sure. Economics, yeah, for the win. Michael Holland, what's up? Morning. How do you make money? Volume. Yeah. Well, I suppose, ask Sam Walton, or at least some of the board of Walmart, right? Excuse me. Oh, I didn't order the 5, so I just still have 4, Harrigan says, relating to his DCC rule books, the amount that he has. Nelson says, unless you're obviously I'm a little bit behind. Nelson says, unless you're WotC, you can't rely on volume. You're better to focus on a great product and charge more. Just my thoughts. I think that's key, man. But you got to kind of do it right. Like MCDM, Mark Colville, and what is that? Strongholds and Followers that I have, right? That's the one that's like I have an actual physical copy, I think. Yes. Right? I don't remember. But I got it. It looked good. Paper's really, really super thin, man. Like, what? I don't know. I get it. Trying to maximize your margin, but I don't know. +1 for classic SNL references. Harrigan's shipping scared me off. Deal was so good I couldn't pass it up. My table is set for DCC. Very nice. Awesome. Hypnocode Warhammer proxies are a thing. I think even official play allows them, but you may need to use other GW figures, but non-official doesn't usually care. Okay. Interesting. Salt says there are definitely schools of thought between pretty books with creative layout and functional RPG reference style books. I think there can be both. And I think that's when you get dude, if you like solo scenarios and you didn't pick up 1,000-year-old vampire, you're missing the boat. Like, it is a solo great journaling adventure, and the product's awesome. Like, this is win-win. If you're into solo vampire RPG play, this is a no-brainer. And then what I pay for this thing? It doesn't have it does have MSRP. $45. 45. Some people would say, 45, it's like very small. It's only 150 pages. But, it probably cost a lot to get this cover and the glossy paper inside. Semi-gloss, matte. It's not matte. Semi-gloss. The typesetting, probably editing. Ribbons. Like, that stuff's not cheap. He could have probably done this for 20 and sold it. But then it would be meh. It'd be meh. Anyways, there you go. What are you going to do? Tad says, and mini agnostic skirmish games are having a moment right now. Yeah, some are really good. Michael, are we talking about Games Workshop's announced price increase in March? I just saw that. I already can't afford the hobby, even more so now. Michael, so we were going into print, and GW had a couple things, and it was like GW had an expensive book, and I went into, I don't know if you were here when I did it too, was talking about, like, I think RPG books should be more expensive. It would probably prevent me from buying ones that I'm kind of on the fence with. So that's where it went. And then it does kind of coincide with GW, but not really. It's just in general. Love the fourth. Yeah. Terrence is wise. OSR crowd coming for you now. 2 thumbs up for Burn 2D6. There it is. Testimonial. Get it. Screen grab that, Kev. Kickstarter backers get to game with the author. Oh, that could be a stretch goal, couldn't it? Like $1,000. Brett did that. Brett did that for Streets of Avalon. I think he had 2 slots where the award level could be like, he will run Streets of Avalon for you. And he had 1 individual from Alaska, and I think he had VC and his crew down in Illinois do it. BSers get to game with the author anytime. Look at that. Fringe benefit of just being in an awesome community. Wow, that's fantastic. Thanks, dude. Hypnocode says 100% on the last one about functional layout versus design. A book can be good at both, but not enough R. Yeah. Oh, it just broke through its third stretch goal as we were standing here. It went through. Nice job, guys. Look at that. I think the dollar sign, like the dollars just keep going up every like 2 seconds. You see it? It's great. I'm okay with an increased price in books as long as they are good quality. Sure, but what if they're good quality and they contain jack shit in their wording and editing and their layout sucks? Come on, Michael. Got to have the full package. Streets of Avalon Kickstarter price was $24. What is it retail, Victor? Do you know? It might have been the discount price. Is Brett selling them for like 30? I don't know. Anyways, let's get to where I apologize. It was not to, put anybody in check by any means. If I came across that way, it was not my intention. But I think it's just something that's just like, it's an interesting dynamic in the RPG space specifically because there's so much stuff. And I don't want to say crap because there is a lot of crap, but like, how do you separate that? And I got to say, if you're like in the Cobalt Press camp and you like everything that Cobalt Press puts out, everything that Paizo puts out, everything that Green Ronin, MCDM, like all the third parties that we are very familiar with, if you like what they put out, Savage Worlds, not even a third party necessarily, just their own stuff, why? And they probably have a decent enough of, hey, it's a very good value for what you get and it's not garbage. So people buy it because it's a good game and it's not on lined, 3-punch paper. So, but are they charging too less? Savage Worlds Explorers Edition was like $10, $9.99 retail, full game. And it's a great tactic, I got to say. I give Pinnacle and Shane and those guys a lot of credit for just doing that because that is a way just to get the game out there. And I think that's also needed and plays a role with your strategy and what that looks like. Doesn't mean that it was a crappier game, but it was like one book, digest size. Like, you want to play Savage Worlds? Here you go. Hey, have you heard the good news? Here's a Savage Worlds book. Like, imagine $50 and buying one book for your entire group. Like, all right, I don't want to spend any more money. It's too expensive. Fine, I'll buy you the $10 frickin' rule book, okay? Here you go. Boom. Rule books for everybody. Great stocking stuffers. I don't know. Right? Anyways. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'll calm down now. But it's a good topic. I like it. All right, that's done. Free League is incapable of producing something bad. All right, I'm not going to go on the Free League kick, but I will say I'm not far from that expression of appreciation. Drive-through prices are $15 PDF, $23 softcover, and $28 hardcover. All prices rounded nearest dollar, Victor says, and relate to Streets of Avalon. Okay. Thanks for doing that, buddy. Tad says $24.99 on is the price on Amazon. Oh, interesting. Okay, where'd we leave off here? What am I doing? That is not what I want to talk about. That is not Broken Weave. I think I went over that last week, so I closed that one. News? Did I do news? Let's do news. I know I was on print news. Let's just do news. D&D Open, D&1 D&D, Open D&D. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Kyle Brink, executive producer, has gone on a couple YouTube channels to talk about the flub up that was. It's interesting. I haven't watched either video. this sums up some of the details. He is taking it. He's fallen on the sword, if you will. I think. Here's the thing. Whatever he says, I don't know. It could be true. It could be embellished. Regardless, it was a complete fiasco. He's trying to come out, do some damage control. If you're interested, go check it out. All right. So news, some of this provided by Ian World. Go check out Ian World. They're great. And they put out good articles and things of that nature. And who might complain about Ian World when they basically feed me every weekend? So anyways, he also went into detail about the company culture. There was some hubbub and fiasco about like talking about the white guys out of D&D, which has been, taken. It got completely out of control on Twitter. I won't get into it, but there was another video that they talked about, and then people misconstrued that being racist and then misconstrued it. I don't even know if it's misconstruing it. Regardless, but he had said no. And it was, then you had to get context around it because social media it takes the big long 90-minute video and boils it down into 240 characters. But essentially it kind of like hey, we need to get some of the middle-aged white guys out of the design room for D&D, and that some people took great umbrage at that statement. But if you want all the drama, go and check that out. Keys from the Golden Vault, upcoming adventure from Wizards of the Coast. If you're interested, let me know. I don't know much about it. I think it's been obviously overshadowed by all the other fiascos that Wizards is dealing with. I don't know how good it's going to be. Like, it's not in my area of interest at the moment. 208-page hardcover, coming February 21st. Legend of Vox Machina, Whitestone Chronicles, interesting, coming to Prime Video. So hold on. Dark Horse Comics, along with Amazon and Critical Role, announced a new prequel series, The Legend of Vox Machina, Vox Machina, Whitestone Chronicles Ripley. The series written by Marique Nijkamp. Sorry, Marique, for butchering your name. So if you are a Critical Role fan, you're probably all over this. Again, outside of my purview. Fantasy Age Core Rulebook by Green Ronin Games, or Green Ronin, I guess. Malcolm Shepard talks about the new class system, which expands from the 3 classes in the first edition to 4. So this is the second edition, an update on the second edition. If you like Age, anybody playing Age, Fantasy Age, or any of the modern Age, any of the Age books? Just curious. BK Dan, I see you. Aaron Raylan, I see you. Sneakers, Lurkers, I see you guys. They come from out of the shadows. Aaron says, speaking of Free League, finished up the Alien Starter Adventure and just had our first Twilight 2000 session. Great stuff. Yes! It's awesome. 2 games, 1 game that I've not played. BK Dan Mornshawn, what's missing from my games? 100% of players being 100% invested in their characters and game. Oh, okay. Similar to what Gabe mentioned earlier. So, yeah. The struggle is real. All right. Hypnocode says, I thought it was we need to get white guys out of D&D, like as players. Yeah, I don't think that's what it was. And I think that's where the beef came, right? And whether it was said that way or not, he came out to say, no, that's not what I meant. I meant from the design room. Either way, I thought their thinking was too small. Everyone should be get out of D&D. Well, there is some like basic, man, in today's world, I think like if you're going to go out and talk on behalf of your company, I'm surprised corporate communications even allows half of these guys to even publicly talk. Like, seriously, because they can get in such hot water and they're not properly trained. Chris Perkins is really good at it. I think Merles was probably pretty good at it. Like, they, even at conventions when they would talk about certain games and not bring things up. But anyways. Age is a fun system. CJ, what's up, CJ? All right. I heard the stunts are fun. I enjoyed the first Fantasy edition and we'll pick up the second. Very, very good. Sean posted ammo can and then I bought Twilight 2000. Oos! Like I said, I want to run it for vets. I really do. So I'll keep you on the short list. Like Saul's Weedle wants to get in on it. Not that it can only be for vets, but I thought it would be cool to run a vet charity game and see. So it's still in the back of my brain. I mean, former Marine, you gotta be in on all that, right? The Brink backlash was pure reactionary horse crap. Dude was talking about old timers like himself retiring and the younger, more diverse crowd moving up to take over. Thanks for context, Terrence. I appreciate that very much. So I didn't get sucked into it. I did a little look into it, and people were like, "Dude, you see the whole thing? You got to read it was the whole picture." And some people were trying to dispute it, and I was like, "It doesn't matter. He said what he said." And it's like, well, it kind of does matter. Let's back up a second. Hold on. Jeez, pure snowflakery. Oh boy, Cold War is still in my brain. Yeah, Merles was very versed in art of PC speech. I'm guessing that's what BK put in there. Okay, moving on. GURPS. Oh, GURPS. Yes, talking to some of you guys. Come on now. Speaking of new editions, Steve Jackson Games has been a bit coy about a possible 5th edition GURPS. Hey, 5e. Huh? Not just for stupid publicly traded corporations. Back on January 25th, during the OGL controversy, GURPS became a trending topic on TikTok, with fans speculating about a new edition. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. GURPS and TikTok should not be in the same sentence. I don't understand that at all. What the hell is going on? I'm done. I'm out of here. Like, I can't with this anymore. I don't know where the oldness starts and the newness begins. I don't know what's going on. I am completely out of touch. TikTok, Steve Jackson Games, GURPS, what? GURPS is still around? Not a joke. I didn't realize that. Oh, come on, Michael. Yeah, the official Steve Jackson Games TikTok account replied to one person requesting a new edition with a video stating, "Hi, Jeff, we are absolutely watching. And while GURPS Talk is doing numbers, why don't y'all answer this question for us?" Insert of the prompt. What would you want to see in a new edition of GURPS? No reason, just cause. Blog post on SJJG website made clear this was a hypothetical new edition, but this past Saturday there was another blog post from none other than CEO Phil Reed highlighting a discussion thread on RPGNet speculating about new features. There's still no official confirmation that a new edition of the generic universal roleplay system is under deployment, but it has been almost 20 years since the last major update with GURPS 4th edition came out. Whether the company is simply testing the waters for interest or if this is an attempt to build interest in anticipation of an announcement, we'll have to wait and see. What? GURPS and TikTok should cause a antimatter explosion. For sure, dude. Like, what in the hell is going on? What universe am I in? Where did Doctor Strange just screw all kinds of shit up? Like, somewhere. I don't know. I'm not ground zero, but something wacky is going on, my friends. Good morning, Jason. Good to see you. Oh, my goodness. Jason, did you know that Steve Jackson Games has a TikTok account? GURPSTOK? What? Man. There's some movement over there. Hey, I've heard my grandkids have told me about this TikTok thing. I might just kidding, Steve Jackson Games. Just kidding. I know you guys are forward thinking. Don't get crazy. All right, I'm old too. Like say, all right, Merkberg, Kalo's Book of Monsters, a collection of foes, from Steve Jackson Games, no less. For Merkberg, what? One release from Steve Jackson Games we can confirm is Kalo's Book of Monsters for Merkborg, originally self-published by Phil Reed, CEO of Steve Jackson Games. Collection of monsters will now be distributed by Steve Jackson Games, making it more available to a wider audience. 63-page book features not only 20 all-new monsters, but also tools to add to your Merkborg game, such as a D66 table of rumors and a short hex crawl adventure. Well, look at that. Print copies are currently on their way from the printer and will be available for $25 American. Ruins of Symbaroum by Free League for 5th edition. It's so good. Look, all right, you want to play 5th edition, you want to set it in a scenario or campaign setting, just buy these then. Just do yourself a favor, okay? If you can't get the group to switch from 5e, then just buy these. I know Phil McClory has been doing that. It's like, I can't get him to play native, so here's the compromise. Been waiting for Reed to make that connection. Symbaroum, play the original, Harrigan says. If you can't play the original, there's an option. Can you imagine, like, oh, sorry, can't put these books out anymore. OGL, sorry, Yeah, Ruins of Symbaroum and invite Sean to your table. It'll be a great game. Roger, stop it. I don't know if you're being facetious or not, because I was really tired and I think I fell asleep at Roger's game. I don't know if he noticed, but now secret's out. I was terrible. I was a bad player. Terrible player. 100% involvement. A dude. I am truly sorry to you, Roger. I owe you. Phil says Ruins of Symbaroum is very good. Well, that's all you needed to say. Then he'll never want to play at your table again because you bored him to death. No. No, oh, no. No, you didn't, Roger. I was super, like, dude, I got bad habits. But one of them is staying up way too late and not taking care of myself. And that's what happened the day I played your game. It was like at freaking 8 a.m, too. Oh, yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I apologize, man. Seriously. I am sorry. Like, I'm sorry. I hope you don't hold it against me, man. He's going to hold it over my head forever. Anyways, look at this. So for example, here's a perfect example. There's a 104-page PDF. 224-page PDF is available now on drive-thru for $20, while the hardcover is available from Free League Store for $38.42. That's like an exchange rate conversion, I'm sure. But $38 for 224-page, like this, it's good. It's going to be good. Like the layout's good. The art's good. It's, I don't know, editing, like it's just good. Just get it, whatever. Okay, that's all I have to say about that. Dark Souls, I'm also biased. I'm a shill. Dark Souls, the role-playing game. The Tome of Stranger Beings. 5e Steam Forge Games announced the upcoming release. 80 new monsters, 5e compatible stat blocks. The release is accompanied by Wave 3 of the miniatures featuring several of the monsters. 120-page hardcover is available for pre-order from Steam Forge for $30. That's it for that. That's the news digest? No. Yes? I don't know. Crowdfunding? No. Back to the print news. So DCC, MCC, Shadowrun, null value, 6th World, 6th edition. The folks from the dot group that I used to play in are running Shadowrun. I think they've alternated from like 5th to 6th because I think some of them don't like 6th. Like yeah. Jimmy runs a lot of Shadowrun, so he knows all the differences between all the editions, and running it through the groups through that they can intelligently put forth their opinions where I would like be lost because I don't know the differences between them. But You Shadowrunners probably know too. Like, oh yeah, 6th edition's great, or no, it sucks compared to 5th or 4th or whatever. Primal, Diogo Nogueira, Primal Quest Essentials, and Tannic. System unique for Cairn and OSE. $15 and $12 respectively. Primal Quest Essentials, a streamlined set of rules for weird stone and sorcery adventures in a mythical world where humanity survives side by side with dinosaurs, aliens, and creatures more ancient than the world itself. So I've got a few of Diogo stuff. I have not played Cairn or purchased it, but if you're a Cairn person, Tannic Point Crawl Forced Adventure, that might be cool. By Amanda P. Through Exalted Funeral. Tannic is a love letter to Pine Barrens, youthful adventures, and campfire stories, intended as a level 1 to 3 one-shot adventure. Since the days of old, the village of Tannic has celebrated the summer equinox with an elaborate festival, and young villagers camped deep in the forest and did not return. The PC set out to find them and bring them home. Includes overland hex map of Tannic and the surrounding forest, rumors table, NPCs, festival, and forest encounters at the Big Bog Tomb adventure location. That sounds fun, right? Crypt of the Crocodiles, the Unliving Court of Gramer, and the Prison Crypt of Mouillet by Stockholm Cartel. Stockholm Cartel. The guys who done Merkberg and Cyberg and Pirateberg. Did Pirateberg come from them? I might be wrong on that one. What's up, Orcus Dorcas? Good to see you. A little late. Late from the night in poker game. I saw that picture keeping the people anonymous from calling in sick to their night shift jobs. I see. You know, that's where it starts. That's how they get you. It's poker. Not sure how those books will read. The free adventure that came with the Ruins of Symbaroum Kickstarter were not well laid out. Oh, that's interesting. That's unfortunate to hear. Michael Holland, Dark Souls RPG for when you feel like getting kicked in the nuts. That bad, huh? Jason Weitzel, nothing pairs better on TikTok than Ogre played to the crunk beats of Cardi B. Wow, there you go. Third party picked up partway through the Kickstarter to be published by Freely. Got it. So it's not Stockholm Cartel. Owlbear Omelet by Caradoc Games. Unique rule system for $10. PCs are lowly worker goblins. The king of the goblins loves owlbear egg omelets. The PC goblins, after a long night imbibing moonshine, have decided that it is entirely unfair that the Goblin King chows down on owlbear omelets while they eat gruel. So they decide to break into the Goblin King's palace and steal an owlbear egg for omelet making purposes. Perfect one-shot adventure for a mini campaign of 2 to 5 short sessions. I gotta say, if somebody pulled this adventure out on me, I would be super pissed. I'm just saying, don't do it. Don't do it with this guy. I don't know. Not my thing. Not my thing. I don't want to play worker goblins, and I don't want to go and steal an egg so I could make omelets. Okay? I just don't. It's not my game. I am not the target audience. If you love omelets and playing goblins, then please go out and do yourself a favor and pick up owlbear omelet. All right. Crowdfunding news. What is going on? Adventures in the Cypher system. I can't. I just can't. Go, if you're Cypher system, go and get Monty Cook Games. Okay, just go get this. It's on BackerKit. I'm sure it's funded. You can get PDFs with the books only during these crowdfunding stuff or special packaging bundles that they do on occasion. Ciphers. Play the Cypher system, and there's where yeah, ciphers aren't the same as in Numenera. I can't. It's the Numenera system. There, I said it. Cities without number. Cities without number. Kevin Crawford. This thing is going to be off the hook. Who's in on this thing? $80 is the average pledge level with free shipping and handling in the U.S. That's pretty good. I hope it doesn't change on Mr. Crawford. Its end date is February 28th as of this recording, 2023. There's some people that are like, this is the one. This Cities Without Number is the one to go. So take on Cyberpunk. Campaign Plus, as prior books, give a unified, far-reaching system with setting options. When this drops, there will be 2 versions available. A free version, which will be core Cyberpunk, and a deluxe version that will provide everything you need for Gene, Punk, and Magic options. No Magic in Cyberpunk. No, not for me. Oh, I got some strong... Oof. The current gaming climate... Not sure what that means. Maybe it's the FIOGL thing. I don't know. Kevin decided to create a formal open license for this RPG via this campaign. In addition, he's using this platform to create a short guide to crowdfunding. Whoa. A free how-to for RPGs and Kickstarter. Nice. He's run, 3 or 4 at least. If you're a fan of setting toolkits, OSR systems, and Cyberpunk, this is worth checking out. Interesting. Who is in on this? 700%. I thought it would actually be higher. It'll probably reach 300 for sure, I'm guessing. I have some hangouts. I have some hang-ups for sure. Crawford's Cyberpunk book will be filled with awesome tables and unreadable by me. I am 100% certain. I'll get the PDF on that one. Yeah, I might do that too. I should just start doing PDFs for these ones that I'd want to get the hardcover book. But you know what sucks, Harrigan, is when they start delivering these and people snap pictures and you're like, I should have got the printed version. But whatever. Cyberpunk with optional Shadowrun. Nice. Yeah, sure. Optional. Great. Don't have Terrence run it for me with magic and trolls and elves and dwarves and dragons. I can't. Carbon 2185 Legacy Rising funded in 24 minutes. I had the original. I gave it up. 16 pounds for the PDF version of the book. Brings 5 cyberpunk adventures set in dystopian San Francisco. Available exclusive digital content. This offers adventurers with titles like The Unhackable, Transcendent Nouveau, and Message in an Augment. To me, it was a weird, like, the print was really big. The layout was kind of like, I don't know. I hate being this guy, but you know, somebody else, I'm sure, is enjoying it. Look at that. $1,000 goal, 1,173%. Wow. Okay. Monster Rangers role-playing game. From Steam Crow. Fate Condensed. Not to be mistaken for Fate Accelerated or like the Venn diagrams of Fate is real. This is for Fate Condensed. This is core rules. $55 plus $15 for shipping and handling. US for PDF and print versions of the book. And dice. We have not seen a third-party Fate crowdfunding project make a splash in some time. Monster Rangers RPG is changing that statement with a campaign that is connecting with fans. The RPG is set in an alternate 1913 where monsters are real and you're part of a group that protects them from being exploited. That's right, you save monsters. The project comes as two 32-page books, player's source book and the warden's source book. If you're not sure about this project, head to the campaign page to see a massive volume of beautifully laid out, visually compelling pages. It's funded. There you go. Cool. Pixie Punks, Rules Light RPG of Fae Gone Bad by Andrew Hand. Original system, core rule zine. This is part of Zine Quest, probably a little bit. Your land's being invaded. You're unseelie fae, enchanter, goblin, pixie, redcap, Trent, or troll, and you have to save your home. It's a compelling concept that requires violent action. Only your fae. So it'll take a lot of doing. Funded, by the way. Dungeon Malarkey. Planet X Games. I've seen this come across my radar. Planet X Games. Levi. OSR RPG rulebook. $15 for the PDF. And print versions. Ode to Gary Gygax's Appendix N, as well as Myth and Legend, the 48-pagers, lore and oddities to spice up your fantasy adventures. Think Chimeral Eggs, Great Worm Bile, Mind Slayer Mold, Quagborn Elixir, Ossified Godbone, and so much more. If you're looking for inspired, odd additions to your campaign, this might fit the bill. Salthard, he is using AI art on it? Oh, really? Kevin is? Crawford? He's using AI art. Ooh, yeah, people are going to be pissed. I'll have to check out the drama that's hit that frickin' fan. Kevin Crawford is like the Bill James of RPGs, but will I get that book? Most certainly yes. Who's Bill James? Am I being ignorant? Am I completely ignorant? Yes. Robo World. Tabletop RPG monster manual zines inspired by 8-bit retro video games. That's pretty cool. 2 zines, 1 Kickstarter. That's cool. Cool. Dungeon Crawl Classics 5th edition. Survive this. Nice. He's Mark James's brother. Thanks. That helps a lot. Thank you. Thanks. You guys. And maybe I don't want to know him. Like, you don't know him, Sean? Just keep it that way. Thank you. I backed Dungeon Malarkey. Levi is a good guy, warm, welcoming, and fun products. Ray Guns and Robots was great. Bill James, the Moneyball guy who invented advanced analytics for baseball. Oh, got it. Bill James. Yes, Moneyball. Got that now. See, sports ball reference, man. You gotta, Jason, you gotta. Sports ball 30 years ago. That's about it. If you're not talking about the Lakers with Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Michael Worthy, right? Like, that's my era. Anything that since then, Dallas Cowboys of the 70s. Sean is Dr. Sports. I am not Dr. Sports. I'm like, no. Delver, OSE, issue number 7. Resources for the random rolling referee. Ooh, say that 5 times real fast. Resources for the random rolling referee. Ah, there you go. It's a zine. God, I hope they don't list all the zines because Zine Quest is in full force, yo. $10,000, $2,000. You know, I wonder if like they put these out that you make more money than you do with some of them big books, like overall. I don't know. Somebody's on to things though. They're like, this is where the money's at. They know. Biodrones and Cryoclones for Mothership. It's Mothership, so you wake up in an unfamiliar cryopod to a note that says you need to shut down the reactor. From there, the adventure kicks into high gear with monsters, an industrial facility, and mutations if you can't solve what's going on fast enough. If you can't solve what's going on fast enough. With influence like Metroid and Cronenberg's The Fly, this 44-page adventure promises character options, twists, and tables to support what's coming next. That sounds pretty cool. The Sunset Limited, a penny dreadful train robbery for 321 Western, funded in 45 minutes. So 321 rule set is from, what's his name? Hambone Maguire, John Hambone Maguire, from the Vintage RPG podcast. I don't know much about the 321 action. It's like I see it, I hear it from the podcast, but I haven't experienced it. As a matter of fact, I think I got something from that for participating or donating to the Michael Stefik Crawl for the Cure. So I should probably check it out. I don't know. It's supposed to be a pretty streamlined rule set. So that's funded. Hera Base. Vast Grim and compatible with Merc Borg. Not compatible with Dead in Space, though. Interesting. Nobody's done anything Dead in Space, have they? Merc Borg! Vast Grim variant! Running at the same time as Vast Grim into Oblivion from Infinite Black, this project brings a new location, a station free from worm infestation. With multiple levels, factions, adventure charts, and new enemies, this 18-page RPG zine offers a lot of unexpected options. If you're a Vast Grim fan, this is worth checking out. Level Up. I thought this has been on here before. Being World. I think that is done, right? Yeah, Thursday the 9th, that ended, so that's done. That's that, right? Whoops. Did I go too fast? Did I go too far? Oh, they're in the forums. Okay. That is it for RPG funding. We went through the print. Oh, Wizards of the Coast backs down from NFT ban. What is this craziness? Dungeons and Dragons publisher Wizards of the Coast has announced that it will no longer be banning NFTs this month. What? The announcement comes after what amounted to exceptional backlash from its community online. It also follows weeks of deliberation about how to strike a balance between reaching a new, younger audience while also protecting its intellectual properties. So what is, more specifically, one of these was countering external companies in their efforts to leverage Web3 blockchain games and NFTs. This move would put up a virtual wall between D&D and those who would bring the experience to Web3. Of course, the move caused outrage, so they're reversing course. While it spent some time contemplating its initial decision, publishers decided to put the matter to its community through a poll, because those always work, before rolling out the update. In a stunning result, 86% of participants responded that they were dissatisfied with the proposed policy, many specifically referencing its restrictions of NFTs. What? So let me get this straight. 86% want NFTs? Like, don't put restrictions on it? Ugh. Crypto bros must have came out in droves. As a result, in tandem with massive support of making it free for content creators, left the company no choice but to drop its initial plans for OGL. Okay, that's the OGL piece. Well, yeah, so what? What? I don't get it. And then conflating the OGL topic and NFTs, like, there are a few things that Wizards needs to just like navigate clearly away from. NFTs is one of them, and OGL 1.0. Like, they just like put that behind them. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. You guys can't even probably read it, right? I don't know. Anyways, that was something that came up. I should have had more of my team in the room. This was the part of a snippet from Kyle Brink's interview. Black Halflings covered it on their channel. If you want to check it out. Dude, it is like, okay, now I got to go on all these media outlets, YouTube, podcasts, and like, oh, it was a mess. I should have done this. I was, it was bad. I was trying to protect the team from distractions. Like, oh, God. Honestly, don't know who contributed to the unsigned statement before I started posting. That the statement that came out, I read it around the same time you did. A second statement came out, blah, blah, blah. It's like, man, it's a freaking disaster, man. That one got turbocharger sales of virtually every other tabletop. So as fans flee D&D, we already know this. Independent publishers greet them with open arms. Hey, come and play our game. Do this, but So this is probably just saying, I'm sure you've heard the joke several times over. Magpie Games co-founder and CEO Mark Diaz-Truman wrote Polygon in an email. Us indie designers have spent the last 20 years trying to get D&D fans to try something different, and Wizards of the Coast gets it done in a month. People have been trying to work remote for frickin' over 60 years. The pandemic did it in 3 months. Yeah, okay, so this is more stuff about OGL back, hey, it's like driven sales of this and that and this and that. So if you buy this or buy that. Good, great. 5th season RPG will expose N.K. Jemison's Broken Earth to a new audience. Quit. Yes, stop. This I mentioned already. So, fifth season role-playing In the Stillness. Brought that up last week. The Age System, Broken Earth trilogy. Let's see. Honor Among Thieves directors address backlash to lore changes because, it's a movie and we talk about role-playing games and we get pissed off because, what? Owlbear is not, what is it? Owlbear is a monster. You can't shape change into a monster. Whatever, vice versa. I don't know what it is. Like, man, sometimes we need to find a hobby. This is not, what was this? Describe. Oh, Describe is inspired by the creative ingenuity, enthusiasm, and aspiration of its members and others in the broader TTRPG community. So this is a scholarship thing. It's a scholarship thing. D-Scholarship. Details for 2023 D-Scholarship will be announced later this year. So a scholarship recipient will receive $2,000 in cash, masterclass subscription, meeting with Describe founders, David and Ben, meeting with veteran game designer and writer Chris Sims, who can apply. So you can apply if you want to get into this scholarship. Some past winners. Whoops, that is not what I wanted to get into. I'm not even sure why I had that bookmarked. This D&D movie is going to make the Star Wars prequels flashback look mild. Think so? I don't know. We'll see. DTRPG times Roll20. Drive-through RPG times Roll20 update. So they are officially like one company now. I think we've been working on some incredible things. We've been extremely busy. Sounds like you're all one company now. Yes, we are. At least somebody interviewing them. Yes, we are. We have joined together as one company. What's the date on this? February 9th, 2023. 80 plus people now operating numerous sites and products. We are doing a lot of work internally to unify these products in alignment with our collective goals, and we are excited by what we can deliver. By February 16th, for example, we will be unlocking the ability for DM's Guild and Pathfinder Infinite creators to sell their Roll20 content via those sites And our teams are deeply involved in reimagining a new unified marketplace built on PHNX technology. PHNX? What? Sounds fancy. Yet, while you may see Roll20 logos and marketing on TTRPG and vice versa, we are still effectively managing separate sites and platforms through separate teams. Whoa, that's not going to be fun. Over the past several months, some of those teams have been slowly coming over to think about how we could provide even more efficient service across all our platforms. They probably need to just put them all under one somehow. Good luck. That is not a small feat. Why are your emails at roll20.net? Do I have to update my address book? Really? That's a question. Okay. Why am I being paid by Org Group? So yes, this is interesting because I didn't know how the Org Group fell into this. Yes, Org Group LLC was the name of the company that operated Roll20. Yes, indeed. That company's name has been changed to Roll20 LLC, but that change takes some time to propagate out to all the financial accounts. So for a little while longer, you may see payments of marketplace earnings coming from Org Group. Just go into your Stripe, change the name. I'm sure it's more difficult than that. What about Phoenix? The new site design, is that ever launching? Yes, Phoenix, PHNX, is still in the works. In fact, as part of our reorganization, Phoenix has been giving a new boost. We have significantly more development resources at our disposal now, given the combined Legacy Roll20 and Legacy One Bookshelf dev teams, which I don't know how big Roll20's was. And I had heard that they just didn't want to do anything. So I don't know how big their dev team is on Roll20. So things are moving along. Who knows? Customer-facing work on this massive project is now close to being done. Check out their preview site, which has been around, it seems like forever. Prioritize the shopping and buying experience, which is, of course, crucial to our business. And then in the next 6 months, we will have a development team splitting away to focus solely on bringing publisher tools over to Phoenix. Certain components of these tools will need to remain publisher only, but our goal is to keep that list of items as short as possible. Well, that must be a screenshot of your sale. Yeah, your sales snapshot. Post-Human Studios. Drive-through. Interesting. That's what it looks like behind the scenes, folks. Get a facelift. In some cases, we're going to give them a complete overhaul to make them easier to use. Yeah, all right. What is to be expected in the future? You will still experience the same drive-through as before. Want to open up new options for you to create Roll20 modules, character sheets, compendiums, and more, but that won't change the way you interact with drive-through now. That's the publishers. There you go. Reach out to publisher relations, which probably pertains like very few of us. Burn, 2D6, Saltheart, Kevin might want to look at that. Let's see. Project Black Flag Friday. Publishing partners. This was just out yesterday as of this recording. They're aiming to create a new game that keeps the 5e D&D flame alive for those that love it. So how much is the OGL going to hurt third parties that say, like, I don't want to play 5e anymore because I'm just pissed off at Wizards? I don't know. Project Black Flag is a set of open core game mechanics that anyone can use to publish game content. It will fill in gaps in the SRD, improve existing 5e material, and ensure 5e monster book and player book remain available for everyone. We're not doing this alone. There's the people that are helping, some of them. Huh. Great. Okay. Feel that we are about to see the 3.5 Pathfinder 4 cap into 5e. Yeah, and I don't know how that's going to affect things. Like, I don't know how much stuff's just going to be out there for free to use. Like, here's an SRD. Yeah, there's the 5th edition one, but now we have our own thing. I don't know. It's weird. CJ, I just want the D&D movie to not suck. Is that too much to ask? It'll be a fun romp, I think. It'll be a fun romp. Please insert Sean's proper British accent. 'Tis a fun romp. If this one sucks, I don't think we'll see another. What? Really? You do realize that there were previous D&D movies, right? Michael? If it makes killer money, picture what else could come out of Hollywood looking to RPG IPs for more content. I think you're right on that. Hypnocode Drive-Thru Roll20 was listing senior engineers for half of the post-going salary is for a fair wage a few months ago. Tad, I feel like we are about to see, yeah, I already mentioned that. Victor, I'm going to play in 5e in the future, but my content will be solely from third-party publishers. Well, look at that. Good to know. I'm trying to get some. You guys are the pulse. Got my hand on the pulse of the RPG community. Hypno, I think it'll be fun, but I also thought the DBZ live action movie was fun. Yeah, well, you know, hey, it's all fun, right? It's all fun. Anyways, that's all I think I had for this week in the crowdfunding news. Not a lot of 5e in there, right? Because they would have had they probably put them on hold. Hello, Augie. You guys can't see Augie. Hey. Just out of frame. Staring at me like, where is my crack? He's going to climb up here in a second. He'll paw my arm. He's wondering who I'm talking to. Anyways, Augie's my cat, for those not in the know, and he interrupts me every stream because he's strung out on cat treats. He's a mess. Anyways, I think I'm going to hang it up for today, everybody. I want to thank these fine individuals for helping me over on Patreon. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Next week I'll be here again. Hey, yeah. I'll be here again next week. Please tune in. If you liked what you heard, or maybe you didn't, thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe, get notified, hit the bell, whatever, you know, all the good stuff. Every YouTuber should say that. And if I'm on here, I need to say that contractually. So, hope your games go well and take some time to yourself. Have fun gaming. Don't get caught up with unnecessary drama, and be a positive force in the RPG hobby. I have to say that to myself. It's to myself half the time because God knows I could use a little work on that myself. So anyways, no other announcements. If you haven't joined our Discord, feel free. There should be a link down below to the Discord, and good banter going on over there. And I think that's it. I think that is it. Yeah. See you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.